Good afternoon. This is a hangout to discuss the ISTE standards for students and teachers. I'm Beverly.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Amy.
All right, so let's start by showing you a prezi of the standards. All right, so the ISTE standards. All right, so the ISTE standards for teachers are to facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity, design and develop digital age learning experiences and assessments, model digital age work and learning, promote and model digital citizenship and responsibility, engage in professional growth and leadership. And the ISTE standards for students is creativity and innovation, communication and collaboration, research and information fluency, critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making, digital citizenship, and technology operations and concepts. I'll be discussing and highlighting the design and develop digital age learning experience and assessments for teachers, and for the standards for students, technology operations, and concepts. So the ISTE standards design, develop digital age learning experience and assessments. Teachers need to develop lessons to form to different learning styles of his or her students while involving technology. They also need to design classrooms to be technology-enriched environments. Teachers need to be up to date on new technology tools for learning, and teachers need to use multiple forms of assessments. So the lesson plan that applies to the standards for teachers will show that that they need to supply different and newer options to students other than the PowerPoint, and has students to collaborate with each other through technology. So I'll show you this lesson plan. It's from Teachers First. It discusses students showing a PowerPoint, but if they don't use PowerPoint, they can use Zoho, which is a new way for students to work together and collaborate while using different computers. And then the standards for students, the technology operations concepts. Students need to know how to use different technology systems and also use applications the right way and be productive with the applications. The lesson plan for the ISTE standards for students that I have will show that students use a variety of technological and information resources, and they will gather information and to create a communication knowledge lesson. The lesson provides a list of technology options as well. So I'll show you this lesson, which is also from Teachers First. It shows that they will use a variety of technological information, which means that they'll use databases, computer networks, or videos. And then if you scroll down, it gives you the technology options that they can look up and find. And then also, just to keep in mind, as an educator, you must be a skilled personnel. Teachers need to know how to use the newest technology tools, and in this way, they can teach their students how to use current and new applications. Teachers need to acknowledge student-centered learning, because the standards for teachers states that they need to use technology for all learning styles. And then teachers also need to create a technology-enriched environment. And to do this, they need shared visions. Teachers need to go get everyone around them and the students involved in technology tools. All right.
Okay, so again, I'm Anna, and I'm going to be discussing Standard 5 for teachers and 2 for students. All right. So, for teachers, again, I'm doing Standard 5, which is engage in professional growth and leadership. Teachers engage in an ongoing process of professional development by promoting and demonstrating the effective use of digital tools and resources. Teachers will participate in local and global learning communities to explore creative applications of technology that will improve student learning. They will exhibit leadership by demonstrating a vision of technology infusion in the classroom and participate in community building to improve others' technology skills. They will evaluate and reflect on current research on a regular, ongoing basis to utilize digital tools, and they will contribute to the effectiveness and self-renewal of the teaching profession. For students, I focused on Standard 2, which is communication and collaboration. Students will utilize digital media to collaborate and promote each other's learning. One unique way they do this is they can also develop cultural understanding and global awareness by engaging with learners of other cultures. They will also communicate information effectively to multiple audiences using a variety of media formats. My example for my teacher standard, number 5, was Edmodo. I found this from Teachers First, and the idea is teachers create an Edmodo account for their class and have all students sign up. Edmodo creates a digital classroom community, works very similar to a social network. Some may compare it to Facebook, but it is secure and 100% controlled by the teacher. Students and teachers can connect and collaborate across distances, which is especially helpful when students or the teacher is absent. Teachers have the ability to post online assignments, quizzes, polls, and discussions, making it very interactive for both the teacher and students. Has a class calendar feature, and teachers can also join Edmodo communities to share resources. These can reach across the globe, which makes very interesting for teachers to incorporate cultural lessons. Parents can join in too, and that increases their involvement. Teachers share resources with other teachers. It's mobile friendly. You can get the app, which students seem to love. It builds digital citizenship skills among students, which the teacher then portrays them herself or himself. It's used in professional development workshops, cultural exchange projects. Also, you can create subgroups, which is great for school clubs and committees, or useful in differentiated instruction. Edmodo also has award badges, which tends to motivate students. My example from Teacher First for students, standard number 2, there's a lesson called Working Together Digitally. In this lesson, which was accessed through Teachers First, students will identify and evaluate different tools used to communicate and connect digitally. They will describe and demonstrate the appropriate use of a variety of digital technologies to conduct various tasks and solve problems. They will participate and communicate effectively and respectfully with others. They will create and contribute to an original collaborative project using digital media and an online community. So the idea is you start with an introduction, you brainstorm with students who we connect with, why we connect, and how we connect. Then you split the class into groups of about 4 or 5. You start with the first activity, which students will work together to create an infographic to organize effective digital tools. So say you're asking students how they would plan a trip, and they will determine what digital tools would be most effective and how they would use those. For the second activity, students again work collaboratively to create a project with the use of digital tools. For example, they could peer teach to a partner in another location, create a collaborative online map to share, or build a class blog. At the end, students will reflect on their projects, the process of collaborating across distances, the tools they used, and their new roles as digital citizens. It's important that they also point out any barriers or issues that they faced along the way, but also why it's so important to be a digital citizen and have that opportunity to reach across the globe and communicate with others. Concluding thoughts, the ISTE standards provide educational professionals with the necessary framework to prepare our students to thrive and be able to adapt to the constant advancements in our new digital society. Teachers must determine how to best utilize technology to spark student creativity, provide alternative forms of instruction and assessment, and be role models for their students in this new digital age. Students will build a strong foundation of technology concepts in order to work creatively, collaboratively, and conduct research while modeling proper digital citizenship. And here's my references, and that was my prezi.
All right, and I will be doing the last set of standards. I actually did 4, and let me go ahead and share my screen and pull up my prezi. All right. So the 4 standards that I will be doing is the first teacher standard, which is facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity. And then my student standards are creativity and innovation, research and information fluency, critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making. For the teacher standard, the aim is to promote the exploration of real-world issues and promote collaboration between the students and keep it a student-centered classroom. And the main ideas for the student standards are bringing in the schema for standard 1 for creativity and invention is to bring in the schema to generate new ideas and forge ideas for personal or group expression. For standard 3, research and information fluency, the main goal is for students to create ideas, to promote inquiry, and to logically choose sources to evaluate the information that has been given to them. And for the final standard, critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making, the main idea is for students to locate, understand, and solve problems and develop solutions through logical data. An example for the teacher standard is a website that I found, and it provides different sorts of professional development. I'll pull it up for you. And it provides different sorts of lesson planning, different sorts of ideas that can promote creativity through digital storytelling and through online resources, and it's a great source. And then for the student standards, for the first standard, I found a website called kidsnationalgeographic.com, and it allows for smartboard lessons, and it allows for them to do interactive lessons between student and teacher, and they can use their personal iPads or computers to have them do an activity on their own, and it promotes creativity through fill-in-the-blank options, and they can create stories, they can do science and mathematical lessons, and create their own way to learn. For the third standard, I found a lesson called Shot Till You Drop, and it is for a 6th grade classroom. And you can go online and find a virtual grocery store, and you can calculate all the unit prices and find coupons and stay within your budget. And this allows for their critical problem solving. And the students can go onto these websites to calculate their budget and use methods that can now be found online. And the final example for Standard 4 is a website that I found called nationstates.net, and it allows students to create their own nation and have a say in what happens, and this allows students to go in and make decisions, and then they can visit a group and talk about the decisions they make, and even go back and create a new nation and go off of the information and the data that they collected to solve problems that they saw in their first nation. And for the critical thinking and the conclusion, teachers need to make sure that the classroom is always or almost always student-centered, because that's when learning truly happens. And collaborations between students is essential, and it allows students to learn off of each other and not have to rely so heavily on the teacher. And for the final thought that I have was, as my duty as a teacher, it is to ensure that each student has an opportunity to work with their classmates. So I can facilitate the learning and promote group collaboration. And those are my references. And that is the end.
All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the hangout. I hope you learned a lot about the ISTE standards for teachers and students. So have a nice day.